Okay. Right. It's here for and there seems to be something very strange happening to me stream. No? Anyway, how do you guys find my glasses? Do you guys like my new glasses? Let me know. Let me know whether you like my glasses or not. Let me know what you guys think. Okay, Oliver, back. Oliver, and the strangest thing ever. So go ahead. We were talking about the application process.
So the application process. So you just go online to a website, you enter the details, and they make you understand, say, usually they don't get back to confirm or anything. They just want to know so they can put it down. And so big from one, they will know that, there's an event happening around this space.
Yeah.
So that's essentially the process. 5 minutes near, and then a couple of weeks later, they send an email, say, how many people do you think will be speaking at the event and all that? How many people are you expecting? And then we supply that information. And one to drink with bread to say, it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Now tell us very briefly. We heard about, how did you get Efia Odonomone, Felicity Nelson, Nome, and all these amazing people? How did you get all of them to buy?
The process of how this all came together. And it's a story I like to tell because it shows you say just ordinary individuals, and not just Now, can use for Lasemi. There was a time some Jonah gave his speech and talking about culture of silence. Now a lot of people were losing their minds.
Yes.
And I was invited to Newsfile to come and talk about, culture of silence. And to make a culture of silence and discussing the different ways in which it affects us, it being important say, even on that Newsfile program, it was all men at Omokasa. And it's very few times you see programs intentionally putting women on the platform. There's a woman voices, silencing voices of women. So I was talking about this. And then it hits me, say, during the COVID period, one of the things I demonstrations.
Yeah.
Now, in the past in Ghana, you see a lot of those demonstrations, especially when people are frustrated. Now, frustrations go online talking about things affecting them, and nobody is doing that. And then I was talking about, even that absence of demonstrations, Crab and Crawford Philly said their voices are not being heard.
Yes.
And I 2 days in, and then I saw some people started tweeting "Face the Country" on Twitter. And about Facebook, I come old people on Facebook. We tend to be more on Facebook than on Twitter.
Yeah.
The first thing that came into my mind, okay, let's do a demonstration. So this is what first came into my mind. I made sure. So I wrote on my Facebook wall, say, May 9th protest. Who wants to organize a demonstration? And I made sure. Now this is not the first time I made visa. Tama Obampenyi then a cabinet appear. I was very disappointed to see how there were very few women again in the cabinet. So I wrote a long post talking about there's a need for a women's march in Ghana. Because a lot of countries have done the women's march where women have gone on the street to demand that, this practice that they say the 1-2 women that be part of the team is not
especially on International Women's Day. Many countries
exactly. So I wrote that, and a number of people had reached out to me, said, and I made sure post and I made the date be shared or say, so on this day, what do you think? So a lot of people were reaching out to me saying, who is organizing the demonstration and why? It gave me a sense that there was an appetite for a demonstration. So a lot of people came and said, no, I'm encouraging women to do this. So when I did this as well, it was a bit in that sense where I wasn't really, thinking of going on the street. I was just thinking of, why not? So then I put that down and people would say, yes, I'll do it. Yes, that. And so one day, I woke up and said I was going to do some reading around midnight. But I just sat there and then I just started writing. That I was writing a notice to the police. Yeah. And it turned out to be not the usual notice now. It became sort of a manifesto. where I was talking about, the disregard for Ghanaian lives, it's too much. We've seen this over and over again. Now, you have a demonstration, you have a petition, because what's the point of a petition? Just a bit and you throw that out. So that's, it became that. And when I was writing, I was putting pictures of it on Facebook. And I'm saying one episode here and all of that, Incidentally, a number of people reach out to me from Twitter. Young people less than 22, 21 say, we actually trying to do something. We saw you talking about it. We have a group. Do you want to join? And I'm saying, sure. So when I went into this space and I see a lot of young people are just at their age, I wasn't thinking of how can I shake the conscience of my nation. And they were trying to find a way to express their voice outside of the framework of any political party. Yeah. And I was very impressed by this. So then we started having a conversation about, yes, we need to do a demonstration. And some of them were thinking about maybe in July and not saying in August. I said, no, you need to do it now. You need to get the system to be able to understand what say when you break. And so we're going back and forth. Today, by May 9th, and all of that, we're having that conversation. And it turns out that it's Kumiprekon 26th anniversary was on May 11th. But the time I was writing this, I wouldn't historical significance of it, and should I hit me about what we're talking about, And the connection of that to the May 9th disaster started coming together for me about writing a petition which is talking about disregard for Ghanaian lives and what it means for 126 people to lose their lives on Mewu. Just and nobody does anything about it. We hardly commemorate it, which is one of the biggest disasters which has happened in Ghana. So all this significance is now we're coming together, So we decided to go ahead with it. And at that time, I make her say, not tweets, we're going on over 600,000 tweets a day. Just it was so spontaneous that it caught its own fire. Yeah, just a demonstration idea, it was unconnected to the idea of going to the demonstration and for expressing online. Yeah, and that's how it came about. So when I started drafting the thing, I said, okay, I know a lot of the people in this space, I don't know them. These are young people I was being introduced to. But I have a number of friends who I know have also been, we talked about this for a couple of times. So let me call them up and say, what do you think? Are you interested in this? So then I started picking up the phone. I called Ernesto, Economic Fighters League. I called Felicity Nelson. I called Bash. I called a couple of people where it's like, Felicity said, oh boy, are we going here again? I'm like, we have to do this, So that's how this thing started calling people up. And it started becoming real. Sometimes I was sitting in my boxes on a midnight and drafting, started taking some shape. I just say, we started, putting this together. So it was really just ordinary people. And Obi and after Obi brought anybody together.
People just caught onto the vision, and want to be a part of
it. And it's sometimes it's a moment thing. The moment just felt right, I would say, for people to do this.
Yeah, and that's why saying I'm in Afro to do this. That's when Yeah,
I don't know whether that's what he's doing, but if that's what he's doing, Panacho.
For those of us
there's easier ways for me to contribute to Ghana life. I just said, maybe I'm sorry, and just and then Kennedy Japan so the meeting or two Ghana just say why
yeah, but you see, God will always call people like you and I, because when him say and give up. On him say, we can weather the storm. And he go or shame or pick it.
I hope so. But to me, I hope this is God working. And I hope that if he is working now, it has to touch every Ghanaian. He has to do that work for everybody. Because the way in which I have become passionate about this project, I want every Ghanaian to see it. Because there's something I will say. When the scales fall from your eyes, you become exposed to it, it's very difficult to give up. But anyway, one of the people in that space now was a fear, and I've been so impressed by Ifia because Minane Kasano, in the beginning, she told me, listen, a lot of the things I don't know, I don't have the history, I didn't grow up in Ghana, but I want to learn, He calls me randomly, explain this to me. When they say last time sustainable cocoa production, what does that mean? So that process of learning, and I've just been very impressed by the kind of person she is.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times I say, her ability to connect issues, it's been so impressive to me that that's the kind of people I want talking about this. Not people like me who would intellectualize the conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also here, even toilets in their home and I'm a kind of development infrastructure. The person needs a toilet in their home.
Yeah.
You know,
and being able to reach them on that level. Yeah.
That's the level I kind of want people to understand what this is about and why we cannot, keep waiting on anybody to save us as a people. So that's the kind of people I found in that space, and people who have been energetic and talking about these issues. And then we send the unit in, the notice to the police. Just the police, they lost their mind. Of course, they defected to a colonial mentality and started doing what they were doing. That is when mainstream media then picks it up. But the conversation was already happening.
Yeah.
And then we then put together a media engagement team. And one of the things I've told you, one of the things I am passionate about is being a feminist ally. Right. Understanding that women have a place to play in our politics, in our body politic. The point where we can also have a ministerial cabinet of only women now, or being I don't know, Mankwam, in the same way we don't complain about men. Mm-hmm. So in putting together a media engagement team, we're saying that we have to have more women in that team than men. Now, when we put this together and we send that to media houses, we saw that a lot of times they'll call the men on the list instead of the women. Who from me and say, well, I would rather you talk to this person, I'll give you this person's number. Or if there's no woman on the platform, I'd rather have a woman on it. And then one of the things we did is say, okay, we'll restructure the list. The man didn't talk from top to bottom. All kinds of ways to get the media, to also change the ways in which they engage with the public, and then so that and problems
But we need that paradigm shift.
We need that paradigm shift, and we have to be part of that conversation. So these are the ways in which this whole thing came together. I mean, of course, and Chebiana just said, you say Yakoje 4.8 million from President Mahama. Now me say one of the things I said President Mahama was 4.8 million to give to non-entities like me. No,
you're not saying. Please don't say that. Yeah.
Why are you bothering? But these are things I anticipated, and these are things you have to be prepared for. But one of the things that Memma can say, I don't take those conversations for granted. And when people ask me that question, are you being funded by a political party? Are you being wine? I give them a serious answer. Because I understand, for so long, people have expressed their frustrations to persons who they believed were seemingly neutral, persons who they believed were pursuing a project. Na yamom appointment, not just say, and seven no more jai. No more passionate about it.
I won't mind, just hold the thought for me for 1 minute. Let me share my story with you. That is the reason why I joined the NDC. For all these years I've been on social media having this conversation, I was always neutral. I come from an MPP background, born into family, granddad, and all that MPP for my papa served in as a member of parliament from 92 MPP. But my status at Jamaica, Ghana, it was all neutral from a neutral standpoint. But then I realized that to the point that even last year before the elections, I was supporting independent presidential aspirants. But then very soon I realized that Ghana, the system is so political. Independent for the letty and down last year, I thought to myself, you've got to now pick one side.
Right.
Because that neutrality idea a bit me how dachi.
Yeah.
Because MPP are buying a also anything to do with MPP NDC for pewasem.
Yeah.
So NDC are buying a war power. Can be about NDC. Or Munina hate you and MPP for become your friend. We cannot live like that.
We cannot live like that.
I completely agree. So I decided if this thing is going to cause problems for me, then let me choose one side and tell the whole world that I've chosen one side. That way you have a choice now to continue to follow me and watch my videos, or you stop.
Right.
Rather than say pretend they say Misha Middle, like you're saying Misha Middle, and then Ebia government be about Ofu say I have something to contribute. They want to maybe pull me into it. Then you have an issue with it.
Yeah.
Then this one who says, "Oh, we knew she wasn't neutral."
Yeah.
Now let's make it very simple for you. I'm choosing one side, and so I actually signed my NDC forms. I signed it live on Facebook. I made a video, and I told the whole world I have signed. As a
one of the things I know you'll be having a conversation about a lot of Ghanaians were waiting for something like this. And a lot of Ghanaians who had been waiting for so long for something like this have had to join one of the political parties. And may call news for maybe something about Kiseja being about appointment for special prosecutor. And I need to say NPP. And I'm saying, so what? I'm happy there's an NPP person because that's what the position guarantees for individuals to be to do that. But it shouldn't be above Nukreno. Our people's political affiliations should be able to do that. Me saying there was a point when you only have to go through my Facebook profile. And saying, share. When I voted for the CPP. It's the only party I voted once in Ghana. I voted for the CPP and talked about the CPP. Because I've always believed, the more competition, the better.
Yes.
In the UK, I'm registered for Labour.
Same here.
But
then we have conservative, we have Lib Dems.
Yeah,
and the Lib Dems always put the two parties in check. Yeah.
And when you're talking about something, there be Labour, it doesn't even come to a person's mind to interrogate, unless you're holding a Labour position, be a Labour MP or anything. And I kind of want us to be able to move the partisanship conversation in that direction. So you say, and no, because we go hospital now, you see no better, you miss our party card answer. And so that process in me creating, and that's one of the things I can say. This is a multi-party platform. Makachi Nkrofo say, Kaka identifies as an MPP person.
Yes.
Kaka identifies as a semi-illiterate person. That is the ideal person I person reaching. Obi otini baby when ejura. Same way who say, no, effectively, things are not going the way they are supposed to go. That is the ideal individual this message needs to touch. And then I kind of want people to get on board. So be according to Sika na why enkan unya now see me defend it to my death. Then no, what does it give us? How does that move us forward? And so be according to Sika na whether also MPP ni na me MPP ni no according to Sika, and it is not the right thing to do. I say we have to do that. That's the only way we can go forward. So that's what I'm saying. Is say fix the country conversation here. They understand the message, they understand the project. They are part of parties. They have voted for other parties before. It's on record. Marie Ghani, I donated to his campaign because I was like, I just need another person to come and do something.
Yeah, me supporting the last year, me supporting the
So I've always looked for ways in which to improve the substance of our democracy.
Yeah. And
that process of improvement, has to come from people who are challenging the status quo, people who are saying something different, people who want to, all that conversation is known here. And it's one of the things that a lot of people don't know. And I'm going to say this. When this whole thing started and ideas about Yanko demonstration, the first thing I thought, I didn't think that we could even try to pull this off. I say, we were London and July 30th.
That's what Spain
No, I didn't think we would get here. So my first instinct, I reached out to a couple of my friends and I'm more in this. And I'm saying, it's the echo for one demonstration. And they were saying, oh no, and all kinds of things. And
so you were even asking the NDC.
I was asking the NDC that you guys should do something because
because
the people need that. They didn't pick up the idea. What's my saying? So I want that. I want to see it. I want those protests. I've seen some coalition against TUC. I just said public servants. You're going the 0.004% increase from salary. Then before they turn their back, they were giving astronomical monies to Gofubi. I just said a bit 71. A bit some can why they be almost shame. And the public sector workers want to go on a demonstration. I think one of the days they suggested in 6th August, just 2 days after now. Okay. I want that awakening, I that's what I want to see. I don't want Ghanaians to be passive any longer.
Let me put it in other words for you. Well, we need our own Arab Spring type of.
We definitely need. Arab should have written on this.
But we need that back to back to back to back to back. Just Ghana needs to be lit.
Yes.
It needs to be lit with demonstrations.
Absolutely.
So that the international community picks it up and asks themselves, what's going on in Ghana? That is what we need.
Absolutely. And that's what I am saying. And I think that the process to getting there, it has to also be keeping the military in check. Because I say this is important. When you look at every citizen's activity people do in Ghana, violence and demonstrations has always come from the state against the citizens.
Against the people.
The opposite. And that is important. We cannot live in a democracy. Me say no, me whole demonstration happen the Royal Armed Forces. So that's not their place. You can't do a demonstration, a democracy like that. You cannot march in the streets every day. He said that Egypt can occupy Tahrir Square for 18 days and the government will fall.
Send Hong Kong for 3 months.
Students for 3 months,
For 3 months.
That's what I want to see. I want us to occupy a space and be there. They can host us down, we'll come back. Because this country, yes, we are a country, Nibi. And you're being Kwandia. So that's kind of what I want to see.
Coronavirus, they be a catch rate for. Before coronavirus, they be a Westminster, there's something going on there. Every day, Westminster. It took a 15-year-old girl, Greta Thunberg, to start the global demonstration on the environment. And we need for Ghana youth to awaken. How do you feel when sometimes you interact with some of the youth who are very politically minded, partisan politics? In fact, some of them are so you just cannot break through to them, and they are the very ones we are doing this for. Have you encountered such?
Two things, and I'm and she, in the beginning of these conversations, or my Facebook, they are because when she first, heard that she was excited, you're doing this, then she started reading comments on Facebook. And she started there and she started crying. And I said to her, at some point you have to take the mindset, and you'll be na meyama. It is I'm doing this because now it is for me. I am going out onto the street because I want to do it for myself. And I'm hoping that reaches Obi. But if you do it as a savior mentality, you lose the faith. So remind yourself why it is important to have that conversation and be present. The second thing they say, this is one of the ways why a lot of people be saying, I don't know, sorry, baby. Now, people are still corrupt, do things right. One of the things which challenges people's Christianity and morality, and people are in economic situations it's so very, very fragile. That fragility can affect your ability to be independent minded, because you're always living in expectation. So wow. Now, we shouldn't take it for granted, because it makes it very, very difficult for people to do this. How UK name other places Obi pesoko demonstration. Obi me brisa say na nti umame transport. Nti den ebedi na wine. People don't ask those questions. They go out and they do it, because the system, by doing it over the years, the system has improved over and kakra to get them in a position now. They don't rely on Obi so be money be edi. Obi is supposed to be called demonstration now. My employer be fire me. And I say, baby, one of the things I creating billboards, which are going out this week. Now, some of the companies, billboard companies, see almost through to put our billboards up.
Oh, wow.
And I'm saying, what kind of system have we created?
Yeah.
So these are the kind of things I think unless we wake up and remember, say, Ghana, it's not right.
Yeah.
And the only way we can get there and say, when the politicians talk, and say, how can we get things to change? There's a reason why they're trying to stop the Fix the Country demonstration. There's a reason why they have done things to frustrate it. There's a reason why they're almost because they understand the potential of people who just say enough is enough.
It's enough, yes.
I can't take it anymore. I can't sit back and watch you, take yourself out when you are sick. Give your children good schools. And then when they come back, you appoint them into a position. Not just a cycle of richness. No, you have not just a cycle of poverty continues. Yeah. All those things, they're afraid of it. And I hope, say, gradually, people will get that message. And I think they are, Mary.
I think, yes, like you said, it's an awakening. And the awakening, once upon a time, we were asleep. We were awakened before Kwame Nkrumah time. Something happened. The consciousness of the African Ghanaians in particular, yes, I think the military rule had something to do with that.
Yeah.
Subsequently, awakening, I think many of us, generation, we relied on President Akufo-Addo to come and finally give us that push,
Yeah.
And also by our failure, in my opinion, and it's an opinion many people share, all hell broke loose. It is for somebody like me. I've been encouraging people to speak up. There be my mantra, speak up. Ghana for Munkaso. Only to realize recently, say Munkaso, or Mukasaswa. Back home. So then it brought me back to the point that okay, so this confirms say you what diaspora because we have some type of immunity here.
Absolutely.
Even saying that, I've had death threats, which I had to report to UK police last year.
Yeah.
Which I say, and still enough form, sir, but was a casamom, was a pushima, and
about a month ago, I'm in Ghana, and before I went to Ghana, I said Ghana no me for shaggy reason, and the reason why I went, said when we started talking about this, come to Ghana. But I wanted Ghanaians to see, say, no, do it as well. It may make Ghana no say the system in person the Yemen no find Yemen.
Yeah.
Because if just asking say Ghana can be better, Ghana can do better and and I have to lose my life. Munye the best way.
And asama working. The sad thing they say, oh my come to Ghana, say what they don't realize is that you can kum Oliver. Marie, all the other people who are speaking up, and tens of thousands more will come up. And so the earlier you come to the realization, say, better. Now, yen dwelling on Godfrey Dameka Krebi na fe will finalize UK. Godfrey Dame, how did he come into the picture, and what was the basis for him trying to prevent you guys from demonstrating?
So
to the point that he came into the courtroom.
One of the things that we from the very beginning, even in terms of our messaging, you see, we understand how partisan people are in Ghana. And we won't make this messaging about government.
Yeah.
Now, even in our own talking, a lot of times if you watch when I speak, instead of using government, I say state institutions.
Right.
Because I'm trying to be very particular and say the way somebody will receive the message, from his MPP ear, but from the Ghana ear. So we are very particular about that. Now, in this conversation, one of the things they have been doing is stop him. Police stop him. We have nothing to do with it. She said, okay, fine. We will deal with the police. And so injunction, we know say it is from the Attorney General's department, injunction against us. And you're using the police. And then we went to the Supreme Court. Dr. Godfrey Dame came to argue the matter. Okay, you're doing it as a representative of the state, we'll say.
Yeah.
But the law now, the police were relying on. The law specifically says the Ghana Police Service must go to court. It doesn't say the Attorney General.
Right.
The only person who is competent to say, we don't think, because the only person who must provide you the security and do the traffic regulations, police for, and yet the government in the back catcher. So if the police say they don't have whatever reasons they have to tell the court what it is. What did I say? So when we went to court, Godfrey Dame, well, at the time, it was an Attorney General's representative, one of the assistant state attorneys neighbor. So we decided to say, okay, we're going to raise this as a preliminary objection. So there's not much. It wasn't the police doing it. It was the Attorney General's. But the particular law they are requiring on, once the police, Because it says specifically, either a person above the rank of assistant superintendent of police or a police officer nearest to where the demonstration would happen.
Right.
So the law is particular about it, identifies who can even do it.
Yeah.
And so, we said, okay, all these orders that I've taken, we're going to tell to the judge and say, those were in fact invalid because that's not the right person who came before you. No more case, I'm going to call court. I'm going to say a republic versus face the country. Now, in Ghana,
in going back to layman's terms, in other words, the republic versus its own citizens, the citizens that gave them the power.
Yes. Now, you can only do this in a criminal, because your friend said, committed crime against a citizen. States, no fun said, how it is a crime against the state. And so, no prosecuting it in the name of all of us, because we don't. So that's only when you see republic versus. Not in these matters. No crime has been committed. So the first thing they brought to court was a republic versus swine. So one of the things we're going to raise in the court and say, no, this is not a crime. No crime has been committed. What are you doing? Secondly, it is only if it's a crime is committed and the Attorney General has the prosecutorial power by the Constitution to come and prosecute in the name of all of us. So again, the Attorney General doesn't come in at all. Thirdly, and so no, say, baby, Nipa could say we are doing this in the name of the Inspector General of Police. Then the same document says in the Attorney General's name. And they say, so who are we fighting against?
Yeah.
We want the court to make that clear. It so happens, the day we're raising the preliminary objection, for a in court.
I don't know what to Facebook says.
Exactly. So this is what I said. The puppet master himself has revealed himself, because this is one of the things we wanted to force for the people behind it to show themselves. Because any police running there, doing what they were doing. And I'm saying it on record that the Minister of Interior has said it on record. Say, Onono is the one who is preventing the Minister of National Security preventing the demonstration. No, over his dead body.
Why Kandapa?
Yes. So this is something that we internally knew that this is the state trying to prevent us. Just the government had decided that they were not going to allow this to happen. And so the police no more fronting and doing this. We have to show the government and say we are not backing down today. Supreme Court whatever means it says you want to stop it, do it. But it's a matter of principle that Ghanaians should have the space to be able to voice their
because it is constitutional. Having said that, if they continue down the road, the trajectory they are now, can we go to ECOWAS Parliament? Can we go to ECOWAS something anyway?
We are definitely going to go to ECOWAS. I mean, this is one of the, we are contemplating this, especially when we have seen that the Nigeria committee has been a sham with regards to what has happened in Nigeria, that we are looking at those international frameworks to go into those because that's what this is about for us.
What about the Hague? Any opportunities to go to
one of the things we're doing is that we're doing both ECOWAS, we're doing the African Court, and then we are doing the UN Special Rapporteur on extrajudicial killings, UN Special Rapporteur on freedom of assembly, the UN Human Rights Council. Then we petition the UN Security Council, where Ghana has now gotten a seat.
That's right.
We cannot take these things for granted. We know there's certain things that I know how best to do. I was working in the UN a year and a major to come there, so I understand those spaces and understand the need to elevate this.
So do you see why in Tia? Do you see why in Tia Nyankopon God woke you up in the middle of the night to do this? Because you know why I'm saying that. I had a similar thing last year when I set up a women's organization called Ghana Diaspora Women, and it was as a result of President Akufo-Addo or called Women Deliver Conference. Kokan say Ghanaian women, we are 52%, but there's not many of us in decision making. No, similar. Medaho Ahimachi 4:30. I woke my husband up and I said, "Odo, sorry, I think I have an idea." Or see you again. What is this idea? God wants me to start bringing Ghanaian women in the diaspora together. We need to push answers. President Akufo-Addo to call. It was a challenge for me because it didn't make sense to me that when I heard him say that, it just didn't make sense to me that we are the majority of the population and we are not duly represented in decision making. What you say? So then I started this, but then the challenge I faced with Ghana Diaspora Women just 1 year in was that many of the women thought I was political, too political. Only because, and sometimes when I'm in choose political party, but only because I speak up on issues.
Yeah.
And when I eventually decided to join the NDC, knowing that everybody else within the organization also has their political affiliation.
Yeah.
My thinking was that let me make it public so that many of them rather took offense, not realizing in the end said, not only a MPP for.
Right.
So I had to abandon that. Then translate it into what we now call GEMS Diaspora, which the majority of us are NDC people, NDC sympathizers, supporters. There are some MPP people, there are neutral people. And so you have party Kennedy Japan
right
petition, trying to get the Home Secretary to blacklist him from because she was in Ghana a couple of weeks. Where the digress secretary, she was in Ghana a couple of weeks ago. Say on security, illegal migration, and how to curb serious organized crime.
Right.
Now, Kennedy Japan being the chairman for defense and interior, by all means, now here's a guy who himself is committing several crimes in Ghana. As we are talking now, this whole Ahmed Swale situation, he's one of the only people in the country who the police has told and showed a photo of the murderer of Ahmed Swale or radio to America. You come back to Ghana and everybody's quiet and nobody's doing anything about it. Home Secretary, the Prime Minister. It ties in with what you're also doing. And Nina comes under the Fix the Country umbrella.
I completely agree.
The country slogan. Remember, started 6 years ago. The country. You people should fix the country. I don't know slogan. I thought bingo. There we go. We will throw a Sika some. Let's talk about money because we're Sika.
Yeah.
And the diaspora, this is where the money is.
One of the things I want to say is, and you've talked about the role of the diaspora.
Yeah.
My good friend Koko Azar is in Ghana now, trying to deal with this question of the dual citizenship issue.
Yeah,
a lot of which prevents a lot of people in the diaspora from, being able to be part of the political process.
Yeah.
Now, just to scan on here. But let me just say a little thing. I was part of the Constitution Review Commission. Our Parliament came to us with their things to change about the Constitution. I'm saying the Constitution is fine as it is. Whatever you do, make sure that dual citizens cannot compete for election, be contest for Parliament, and leave everything as it is. They hear no. So it's an issue, and I'm happy that Koko has taken up this issue and is in Ghana now trying to get a constitutional amendment around this issue. So that I've met a lot of Ghanaians in the diaspora who are more Ghanaian than people I've met in Ghana. We cannot go
like you and I. Because,
that's all they talk about. They talk about Ghana 24/7.
Yeah, my husband can't stand me anymore. My husband can't stand me anymore.
Ghanaian economy is upheld by the remittances of people in the diaspora. It is more than foreign direct investments year to year. Ghanaian remittances now Ghana is what is keeping the economy together. So these people have a bigger say in our economy and in the life of our democracy than the white people we listen to, than the World Bank that we talk about. Because one of the things I say is that sometimes you see our politicians going to Parliament and lying about figures and then giving the right figures to the World Bank. And I'm saying, what are you talking about? So this is why I think it is important that we be part of the conversation.
Yeah.
But there's so many things we want to do in terms of going into communities and mobilizing them, even in terms of the legal actions we want to take. Because my thing is that let's see the government every day. Let's show them that we're not giving up.
You are my kind of person.
Because I'm not doing this to become an NGO. NGO approach and not just a issue statement. No, I want to mobilize. I want to. That's and those activities. As we're putting ourselves on the line and doing this for the past 2 months, I've been eating, drinking, fix the country. That's all we've been doing. We want people to be able to support that activity. This protest we're going to do, we need to raise the funding to do it, giving people masks and making sure, even as we are doing this, we have a public responsibility towards people's public health, that we want to be able to protect people. And we want to be able to do that by raising the funds to be able to support that process. So we have been, that's kind of what I'm reaching out to people and trying to help them, that they provide that support to us. More diaspora now, they're happy about this. I hear this all the time. They want to find ways to support us, but they can't be there physically. Say £1 in pub, it goes a long way. And one of the things we have taken upon ourselves to do is say publicly, if you go out to any of our social media platform, They all use the same thing. GH fix the country. Say Facebook, say Twitter, say Instagram. First post I'll be when we've pinged it there. How we are accounting for the money received.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Who is sending what money in? What we are using it for. Now, Shempua, we haven't even started spending the money we are raising yet. Because we need to have the systems in place. We have put in place a procurement team. We're trying to get stickers, They say, okay, I don't want to make the decision as to who we select. Now, I know somebody in the business. So we have an independent team of people who said, who has a procurement background? We identified 6 people. We put them into a group. Your J invoice now. I'm not part of the group. Another person comes and informs me and said, this is the person the procurement team has chosen. Say, then we do that. And that process is transparent for people to believe. Say, it doesn't take magic for this to happen. It doesn't take anything out of the world for people to be accountable to you. So that's our commitment to you. Say, whatever money you put in, there's a process in which that is accounted to you, and you can see how we arrive at the decision to make certain things. So I'm appealing to people, even when you go on that platform, you would see, say, GoFundMe, say PayPal, mobile money. For a lot of people send money to our families through mobile money. Yeah. You can send it's a MTN in Poa. The number is there. Vodafone Cash 0549 2149.
Vodafone, maybe.
Yeah.
So it's Vodafone Cash, right? Is it one
Vodafone
word?
Cash.
Or Vodafone, 2 separate words. Okay. And then the number is
0549
0549
21 49 76. Yes. So you see that, and you'd see my name there. One of the things we have done is we've been thinking of ways to better protect ourselves, because we saw Nigerian government with NSAS, all they use is anti-money laundering laws. The money they are raised to do to continue the protest. Yeah, we've seen them try to use terrorism language against ordinary Ghanaians, and so we are using ways in which we are raising funds. They can't take that funds from anybody.
Yeah,
you'd see my name individually there, but the other say GoFundMe, and I say PayPal, fix the country emails, or the platforms exist.
Yeah,
for you to be able to send anything to us, and just go on our social media platforms and you see who is sending what. And one of the things we do is to protect people. If you need your first name and then your last name, and abbreviated. You can just do anonymous. Open say anonymous. The anonymous near the initials EL at all, just to give a sense, so you can see it and say that we are not hiding the money. This is it. So everybody can see what money is being raised. Now Ghana for do run a minimum from anywhere. Sorry, 2 CD. Those are the things that encourage me to see. Say, would give something to support this thing that they believe it's there for them. That is the encouragement I need to do this.
Yeah, we have to do it ourselves.
We have to do
Ghana Beyond Aid now. This is how we can prove to ourselves to say we can do Ghana Beyond Aid.
Exactly.
Say your project. Now, no, me kai send a GoFundMe. I had to show my viewers a GoFundMe. Me call GoFundMe, and I'm with different platforms. Abrofo na ya dia wuye ya kabana come raise over $2 million.
Yes, I mean
abrofo na ya come raise over $2 million.
Yeah,
Ghana for yesramo aya ye BBC ya mamu ma ye metna ha mekasa bebre sa, especially ya wa kwentu unim how our charities ekure sika wa abrochire ha. It is as a result of say abrofo believe in causes like this. And it is a wujidi say fix the country wa ho de taye chire on the 30th, but £100 bet me about Oliver star £1 somebody cried a bit mama yen kebi £1 and you are a Cambridge research. What's the question is the bebreba woku wama or my gani a dear ne womo de mau Sebi and yes kebi na wuhia and ye a din be na woji baby a wabu bossa why you and aha ni adieno nyamia pejao and to dientina was a cow how and to say yes Ghana for yesramo £1 yen fan ye juma yen fa $1 €1 fan ye juma. Timon started not mon support it £100, €100, $200, $500, $1,000 and no any bit media yet you may a me a bear me eke catchery. said yeah, your person you sue Ghana by said you okay lawsuits no or your lawyer ni was sua de do chire wa besua de wa America was sua bi or your researcher at the Cambridge University ye ni packet one net ho no enti so no ka kire ye o ka ho Ghana constitutional review anamboa o ka ho bi enti so no ka kire ye say e kwan da ho ye betumi aye niam binum and that lawsuits fix the country kakre emre binum Ghana police na buso go freda menum bubu so no otumi de o mo court a ni nyina e sikasem. Next week Friday ye beko letter keke ne de koma papa wuso ankoma ye dane ye hu ria adwuma nankasa no afi na e ba be hya ase enti yesremo Oliver mesrel ye wie bibia afa all the money collecting fa ni nyina breme crowdfunding platforms na me fa ni nyina nto me ha na me ye video bia mekai na maboso because everything we are all doing now comes under one big umbrella, fix the country.
Absolutely.
Now, like I said, me pacho science suma me bim every me kind me person also so me NDC ni pa na me kasi me NDC ni me ba munches me chair di kanfo. And the reason I keep stressing on the NDC, I want Ghanaians to understand that you can belong to a political party, and when it comes to something that is a national cause, you can still be a part of it. Yeah. Please stress for everybody listening now that this thing is not a political agenda. Yeah. This is all of us coming together as Ghanaians, devoid of partisan politics.
You know, there are certain people. Example. Say, just me when I was growing up. To be honest, when I was young, my father introduced me to the political process and conversations in them. And I remember as a young person, Amoakwa-Boadu, when he lost to Kufuor for the flag bearership, as a young person. Oh, because there was something about him, I believe, he was coming to do something. I remember this very vividly. As a young person looking at this person and saying that something was going to happen. So the process of believing people who are, leaders, and it's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing that somebody can lead a project. It's not a bad thing to vote for a political party. And don't do it because, I was born into it. You're not born into political parties.
Yeah.
So you do it because the person has a particular message at a particular time. The person has done something that makes you believe it's a better of the options.
Yeah.
But in this process, political parties can also exist in the same time. Citizens can also do something at the same time. And yet every cause, it should have to end up with a political party. Sometimes the causes would agree with a political party and do activities with them. Because if the goals are aligned, then we have to do that together. Sometimes the goals are not aligned. Sometimes people go in different paths, and we have to recognize that. But if we, the citizens, believe, there's room for us as a people, to support this, then let's create that platform.
Yeah.
And one of the things I'm going to say, I want to get to a point that will be because my party card me. And to face the country, I believe, any party in Kwanso, the effects of mine. We can also do it this way. And the next time I'm face the country in your party, me vote me party. So me so that's my party can electing now. Face the country in there. I'll continue to support them. I'll continue to give them what it takes. So they can continue to hold our leaders to account. And the promises now, my manifesto now, maybe tomorrow, they will do those promises not for me. And somebody has to do that work. So that's kind of what we are calling everybody to do. That it exists as a non-partisan project, but it's a project that invites multi-party people to join that project to make this.
It invites Ghanaians.
It invites Ghanaians.
I say, I'm right. Election petition. No, I made a video and I appealed to the MPP and I said to them, "Look, I am an NDC person. Election petition. No, it was going against us. At the same time, na NDC for no demonstrations. Me catch the MPP for be no say, Mona munim se nieman koye wo courtroom hono. How about you put on your MPP colors and you join the NDC to demonstrate?
Absolutely.
To show the government, more government, and they say, Ujina homa or minor, not for the party. Or minor first before your party.
Absolutely.
And I say NDC for I was very pleased to see a couple of MPP people wearing their MPP joining the NDC. And in fact, yesterday I made some consultations with some people here, some of my party people, and I said to them, throw your weight behind Fix the Country. Empo as an individual. So Uba and area, I mentioned it in my live video earlier on. Uba next week. Now person uye NDC ni uye opposition. Upesa wo show NDC t-shirt de ba Shena Fabra. A kind of nobody's stopping you.
Yeah.
It's about time I see sa nyansa no. Uye MPP ni next week Uba fix the country. Upesa wo show MPP t-shirt. Now do scarf bo ko Fabra.
Shebra.
Upesa wo fix the country t-shirt we no mubia. Toby na she na Fabra. Dia wo pesa wo she de babia no Fabra e kwan da ho. Nobody is stopping anybody. E dia na first Ghana fo yegu UK. Ye nyina ye dodo na yakogu Belgravia Square ye embassy nanim ho. Na MPP fo wom, NDC fo wom, MPP ashane colors, MPP shekales, CPP fo aba, we aba ye mu nyina obia fix obia ye gina ho ma red gold green with a black star in the center. That is all.
Absolutely.
You see, we need to drum it in for our people to understand.
Yeah.
A chrome high tea, yeah, projector, yeah, labor project in the conservative project in the
no.
A your project ma or mine or be enjoy. Pokwasi interchanging. Mahaman is starting a kufa do abe complete. Now the cars a fast in Ghana for one and
Ghana forecast, exactly.
Ghana forecast and namuso.
Exactly.
So at some point, the stupidity needs to stop. Now, more youth now, musuma follows and penny for no nonsense. More youth than what's about some musubai because they say no mumu future and a year prayer mamo. Nanka Mr. Barker, Oliver Barker Vomawo, and can who here so Baba yes I deal with. Me a miti here who here said there be a meso camera and a mapikim. Moda chinti. Because ya tina sia who say ya papa no ye de there and go see baby a ye nyini aba bedru family ye who say yes ya nhwe ye na ye time no nyame ache ye bibi ye friend in social media and ye see ye be use gone are the days and penny for no be into me ka o masem and so na ye to me ka o masem and ne go fredam ye who so onyo obi asa de bia me ka kire no. I have so much respect for him, but when he messes up we will come and tell him in his face.
Yeah.
Because office na okurano Godfrey Dami needs to understand say ye de no kotena ho se ka ye nyi president ma president enyi na nko nyobi ye nyina na ye fo bas ke nyina na ye fo trotro or chia we will straighten him up. It doesn't matter. State institutions and then only are they messing free we want our institutions to work. The institutions are not the buildings. The institutions are the human beings who work in the buildings.
Yeah.
Na yem build your mind and yem page your mind. Enti sika semono ye musika ni de ye here. Musika ni ye here. Tino between any next week Friday. Ye to me raise £2,000 UK for and can say between today and Nigeria ye di inkomo any next week Friday UK for ye to me raise £2,000 at the supportive fix the country and can say enti na maybe ya appeal for fans and say it's here for viewers UK for more share me say ya Mr. Pledge. Why in a bit your mommy £100? Why in a bit your mommy £100? Yeah, pledge it. Said the no or pastor ne se fabra a prophet a truth we be na back. How they command to say it's your mind Ghana. Why in a bit your £100?
You know, I need to also say send up there's some lady actually in the UK. And a number of people of the UK have contributed. People message me say, you know, I want to give something every month. So this is my pledge to myself. Say, I'll do this monthly.
Yeah.
You know, and I was very impressed by it. Say, you know, be a minimum and reached out and said, I want to do this. But I am in a professional space. I mean to me, so use it, you know, through my sibling and I donated. And I was very appreciative of that. You know, so I think that, you know, that opportunity exists for people to be able to do this.
Yeah.
Now, you know, before all this, you know, now I decided to say me tight, you know, I would give it to only women organizations. Because I can say, hey, feminism because it does something to me to see. Say our parliament is full of people who are not females. So any feminist cause, women cause, I donate to it. And don't let me tight because I want to see that reflected in people's lives on a daily basis. That is what it means to do an act of service. You know. So if people do things later,
Mr. Paul Foley. Mr. Paul Foley, Obama, $50. Yamin Shaw, thank you very much.
Thank
Or
you so
Obama,
much.
$50. And to UK for you go so why in a bit £100 say £50, £100. Yes, starting free £50. £50, £100, £200. Why in a bit be Mr. Paul Foley, Matro Udin, we will drop you a reminder. Thank you very much for the pledge. Yes, Ramo, this is for my Ghana. And Yameme Honeba, Mr. Baka Vomawo, fix the country. In fact, Mr. Vomawo, fix the country agenda. No accounts muna fix the country. Okay, Obisi Marie, allow people to donate any amount, and I'm sure you will make more than £2,000. I said media may start it from 50, but the opposite will maybe, and so that's a very good point as well. Mary Thelma also say Obama $50. Mary, that's it.
Thank you. You know, a couple of days.
Doing this for my Ghana.
Last week, Obi Sani, and 100. That was the highest donation by a single individual, $845.
Wow!
And when I saw this, it gave me a bit of goosebumps. And I reached out to the person because sometimes look, Kasai, you know, it feels like you're speaking into the wind, and nobody's really listening. And there's somebody I don't know from anywhere. I tried to Google the person. It was just a random person who wanted to be anonymous. And I asked the person, why are you doing this? And the person said, I want you guys to see that, you know, there's a support basis. That what you're saying, you're not just speaking into there. There are people who are there who these things, you know, get to and want you to feel supported. And that I very much appreciate.
There are some Ghanaians like that. Meaning, say, somebody, mean to me cut too much, but somebody called last year when we were doing this independent thing, or sister, madam, much me pushy at the Drew baby, more than $5,000. Not independent for any pushy. Because you see, people want to see change in Ghana.
Yeah.
Or boy, how about 40 years, one boy or need energy, na me know you want. But obet me my $1,000, obet me my $2,000, obet me my $10,000. Say mona ye appeal to those type of people, and ye appeal to. Mahmoud Abubakar say obema ye £30. Thank you very much, sir. We really appreciate that. We really appreciate that. You know, Mahamudu. Do you have a number here? You bet me the Atuja Ama and Crofo people to contact you, or more pledging to contact you, like a WhatsApp number.
Yeah, WhatsApp number. The number 2 that's our official line, which is the zero Ghana number until +233 no.
Okay.
549
+233 549
21.
Oh, the number now the mommy.
No, yes. And so it comes directly, which we are connected. You know what I mean? You can one of the things just send a message, my reply. One of the things because it's the official line, no, we get almost 100 calls every 5 minutes. So we have tried to interact over text. More efficient to be able to get to a lot of people. But and sometimes we have arranged from there to have private conversations from different people who want to reach out. A couple of days ago, some Ghanaians in Silicon Valley reached out. We had a private meeting where they wanted to understand what this was about and ways in which they can raise money within their communities to support. And this was through the same platform, and I was very much appreciative of that. Johnny Wood, very much appreciative of that.
Mr. Johnny Woods and so Obama Obama fix the country $50. So this is not going to Mr. Vomawo as a person. This is going to fix the country. So me can't Obama wa me patro montiasi agenda and like he told us say no. And you know, say maybe you'll be a Debbie. I'm talking about accountability, and this is a lawyer we are talking to. Mr. Vomawo is not going to ruin his reputation and his career and everything he's building for himself and his family over Sadiwi. It's say we can all trust him. I trust him. My or news file. So Debia something news file or the neighbor so Debia. And from the background and or the my minim that's why you minim that's a constitutional review krana okaho. And we've learned so much about him. Tinya the packet one etibono. Tisa what do we seek air bar? Know that it is going into good hands. Why? Know that it's going into good hands. Okay, Mahmoud, I'll make Mahmoud has sent his telephone number. Oliver, I'll send it to you.
Okay.
I'll send it. It's a UK number. So I'm making a note of it now. I don't want to pin it for everybody to see. So I'll send it to you privately. Okay. Esiedu, so about £100. Thank you so much. Esiedu moi. This is where you're showing your patriotism. Much less a model or my Ghana. Alex Stacy say obema ye £50.
Thank you, Alex. I very much appreciate this. And I also want people to go to link Nana Mekano so they can see these donations that they will be recorded. And there's no single money or anything we've done where the money has not been put up and indicated for people to see who has sent money and what it will be used for.
Esther si obema ye €50. Esther nyame inshrao. Ashabi Jiwa si obema ye £20. Ashabi Jiwa si obema ye £20. Nyame inshramo. Thank you so much. McNally Matt say there's a fact in life that we learn either by advice or experience, but right advice is better because the latter, which is experience, could be either sweeter or bitter. Ghanaians prefer learning by experience. Yeah. Samuel, I will not put your thing up because it has your number on there. So let me make a note of your number. I'll pass it on to Mr. Vomawo. Samuel, so obemaye £50. £50. And the name of the page again.
So the GH Fix the Country. It's a Facebook.
GH Fix the Country.
Yes.
GH Fix the Country. Right. Okay. So let me put
Facebook or Twitter is the same thing.
Yeah. So let me see number in number when I WhatsApp number. Yes. This is the WhatsApp. Into no one I say what the +233 in the back account. Let me edit it. Let me edit it. We just put the +233. We now should share laptop. I feel where he be where he. Right. So there we are. +233. Into number in WhatsApp +233 549 214 976. +233 549 214 976. Minjanto hokakra na nkofo entimi intro. Enti no nyame ya adoma next week Friday time ben say sikasem no ya sort it so out. So okay, I'll send my contribution now, Mr. Oliver. Check in 10 minutes. It will be there on the Vodafone Cash Wallet account. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Yamisha. Next week, me patch your time, baby, because I want him say ebinum area me ya appeal say obi amra and ebinum nsra kwan obi ho bestre kwan efi adwuma mu. It says on the flyer between 10 and 12, right? 12.
And I know say Hano, people really have use of their time. So you say you can see at 10 and not 12 no be at this person. So we're trying to get there, a few minutes before 10. We start what the activities we have planned. We give, people get the chance to talk about, if their families in Ghana, some of the experiences, what they want, prophesy into the life of Ghana. What do you want to see? And motivate some of the people in Ghana who are doing this. And this is our role as people in the diaspora to continue to support. And then by 12,
has the High Commissioner given you a time that he's going to come out?
Yes, so we met the High Commissioner, and I think they're going to come out towards the end of the event to come and receive the petition, which is around 11:30 to 11:45. Around
11:30, 11:45. No, I've been receiving. I had and also they're very, very posh areas, Ghana for Friday next week, Friday, Mesremo. Moma young comport Monka who say Ghana for ne shaying. See a tiabruchi. There be a no didn't see a tiabruchi, yet see it to UK. Yen we are back home, a busuya for or moba shaying because you call live on Facebook. Obia be call live social media, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, no TikTok near the other. It's moma young comport yen koye de baby and why because my head was I na my head Chelsea. Chelsea Mayfair area hono. Embassies bebre wo ho. Esikafo UK millionaire fo na de ho na bebre no. Yen pede de akasa afa da achi bibi ni kura yese ye me mabiem. Enti ne yesramo ye kwa mom ye nkomport ye ho. Ye bedi nkomo ba moma ye ma ye voices emra form. Ye ma ye voices emra form. Na yenye bibi akama ye pon suspect ye nyina ye free ho ye free mantemo ho na ye fa e ho for respect emma wom na omu hu se Ghana for ye di ye huni moma ye fa respect emma ye High Commissioner Papa Owusu ankoma because ne colleague ambassadors e wo area ho nyina omo behwe se ene Ghana for na ba ha no Say no mube behave ya na ti yesremo mumien behave ye hu yi. Another thing, your time mesremo ade no flyer ne say 10 o'clock. And yet 10 o'clock afe na wo food train wo Waltham Store. There you. And yet afe na wo food train wo Finsbury Park. And now Victoria, and now Brixton Station there be. By 9:30, quarter to 10, ye jina hodada, ye drew hodada. Because no kwa nebechere Papa Owusu Ankoma ye High Commissioner, His Excellency say ye niabre. No nebechere Papa ne say ye niabre. Abrofubu baby say when you arrive on time, you are late. You say 10 now be drew hot 10, why you late? What's you drew on time? By 9:30. By 9:30, meaning that so you need to leave home by 8:30. Give yourself at least 1 hour. Sa ye subaino, titi subaino. Adia sha see 10, 11 na afi ni ye drew because what you see is a bepon 12 no. And no ye catch you say we should fix ourselves no. And say yeah be prove what Ghana for ne say sebio ye diaspora say ye ko Ghana ye church ye won say ye fia brochire no. Omo be hwe time. Ye nuanom na ehwe ye from back omo be hwe ye time. Papa Owusu Ankoma so be take petition we seriously mpo na wa amfa nto ball mu a ye time. Say ye be kire ne say ye serious. Say ye kodru ha ye be comport to ye ho. Questions say ye be bisa mpo. And some way ye be canon have to be meaningful and purposeful.
Yeah.
And yensem hunu me patcho press for beba na.
Yes, the media coverage episode live crowd to be shown in Ghana. Because when in the episode they gather momentum for those in Ghana to see.
For Ghana, and BBC Africa, normally they are on beba.
We have reached out to them, yes.
And to the media Ghana near yeko. E be na press for ni bia baby sa question. Mesraw enya kasa ting. And yafe na uko catch say Kufuor say he wants to bath in the sky and the corruption. No, you most start obia prepare bibi wo utrim anyembia say oho no mbeba why you ready dada. Oho no mbeba why you ready dada. Yafe na press ni beba na oh please not me please there be empesa. Enti yesremo obia yem prepare na yem ko na yen kire say ye United Kingdom Ghanaians living in the United Kingdom. We know what we are about. Na impenifo ne di anim no so ombeye di aka nyina. Aha. No. Is there anything else you want to say, Mr.
No, just two things.
Have we covered everything?
Actually, three things. One, Marie, nobody has done this ever for all the conversations we've had. Nobody has taken this up as their own personal battle. You know, understand, say, you'll be never say, so what do you want fixed in Ghana? Those questions, no, I mean, nobody had that because it's hypocrisy to even ask those questions.
Yeah.
But you have adopted this and you've adopted it in a way outreach, I will raise the funds on like I have never seen this done. And I am so appreciative of you. I'm appreciative of your voice. And even I know how difficult it is to wake up every day and say that I want to care. You know, I refuse to believe that this country can never change. I refuse to believe that this is it for us as a people. And so you doing this, it's really, really touched me. And it's taking we've had less than a conversation, it's less than 30 minutes conversation between us before coming into this space. And this has happened. So I very much appreciate you believing that this can achieve something. I don't want to get emotional. The last time
I appreciate it. I know. You know
the last
why?
time I did this, like oh man, it's hard. It's really hard.
But do you know why? Because God had already prepared, or prepare for our paths to cross, for this vision to materialize. You know, and God had already started preparing all of us, not just myself, but every other person who has thrown their weight and their support and giving you even the viewers. In fact, the viewers are the most important people in all of this. Viewers now more say they believe in the cause. That's why they are here. Look at how many times I started broadcasting but maybe they come back. People believe in the cause.
Yeah.
And may God strengthen you. May God continue to grant you wisdom. May God continue to fill you with that compassion, that empathy for Omai Ghana. At the end of the day, akwarana ya wono kolebu efomono. Akwarana ya wona to konfo anoche efomono. Obenyini na wenya hope. Say o minor ya wona tumuno or non so ebetumi abayet say Mr. Vomawo.
More than me, Pope.
We've got to raise many more Mr. Vomawas. And
No,
they are
more than me, but also my second thing was definitely the people who have reached, the people who have watched you. There's a platform NIPA 5 next year. This has been one of the most impactful 5 people I've ever seen on any place I've been to. And I thank you for your loyalty and your willingness to be engaged in this conversation. The generosity to even give to this, I very much appreciate it. And I do not take it for granted. The next thing is, the last thing is, say, what next?
Yeah.
After the protest.
Yeah.
And you and I have sort of teased about some of those ideas. We would continue to sue the states. We would continue to mobilize the regional demonstration. It has to be a national. Everybody has to be a part of that 16 regions, and we need to be able to go into all those 16 regions. We need to create a national moment of urgency that will be taken serious. We have to continue to mobilize. We have to continue to educate. All those activities, we will continue to do them. And we'll continue to put structures in place. She said, you know, people can come. I don't want it to be centered around individuals. You know, different people have to be speaking all the time. Different people have to, every day, new people have to send a light, you know, so a shiny one, so no. And I've seen that I want different people to come into that process and play their role, whether they are supporting it from the background and helping draft documents, in speaking to the press, and in going on the street. All those things that you're doing, I want to thank you for doing this and believing that this country can do better. So that's my final thoughts.
Thank you and well done. Now, my Ghana or Dawasi, or my Ghana the Dawasi, and ye. Or my Ghana Dawasi. So a two when see her say, Ubeye BBC, Eddie Abuawo mine. That's your contribution. My final words to you is that I hope you've started putting all this together into a book.
So that's very funny. So I'm an academic at heart. So there's another lawyer friend of mine, Samuel, where we are definitely looking to catalog this, because this moment has to be a generational impact. Yeah. You know, and so that's one of the things we want to do. And we are going to write about this and write about this moment and how Ghanaian people, young Ghanaians and also general Ghanaians and their old people Ghanaians, believe that this is a transformation moment. So we are cataloging this, and we are keeping these things down in a way in which we write about this generation and what they did. We're writing our own story and telling our own stories. So that's the thing we're going to be doing. The other thing people connected to that and say, if you've seen, I write a lot. I write so many times and I publish on one of the things we are doing. And we're also going to be writing a series of telling people what this movement means and what this moment means. So that's productive process, intellectual process, you know. So that people understand that but it's a real generation changing moment. So that's what that project is definitely happening. But yeah, you're the only person who's even thought about this to ask. But
because it's something might happen, and
notifications of money coming in.
Somebody was saying said the number doesn't work, but I want to show that person it does work.
No, it does work.
The number works.
It's not an MTN number. People make that mistake.
Okay, so it's not MTN. My husband, he's an artist. He's a mechanical mechanical engineer. He works for aerospace and defense and aerospace industry. He's an artist. The debut Okase, we're not too good at is recording our history and our stories and being able to tell our own story our own way. And that is one thing generation we are bringing along. And, I'm glad to say Okase is something you're documenting as you're going along. It's Mr. Mahmoud's contribution, I think, is fantastic.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic. Great. Into your cover, Bibia. Is there anything else before you go?
I can talk to you all day, Marie. Like I can talk to you all day.
But I'm going to recommend another brother for you to speak with. So he also makes Facebook live videos or starting your crunch baby. But we're picking momentum and has a lot of people love him. Your friend in Koto. So he's in South Korea. Yeah, in Koto. He's in South Korea. I think say Menene Bekana. If he also can schedule something, because also audience, Obiana and the audience. And so if he also can schedule something, and he being a very young guy, he's studying, I think he's doing his master's also in leadership.
Interesting.
I think so it'll be great.
I'll be happy to talk to him.
Also on a platform.
Because I think in a way, and I'll be in Ghana for the Ghana protest, and so that
right. Oh, fantastic.
For so long, I never considered myself a Ghanaian in the diaspora. One of the problems is that I was living in the US, then I moved to the Netherlands, then I moved to France, and I come to Ghana and the UK. So I've met Ghanaians who said, "How long have you been in the UK?" I say 1 year. I say I've been here for 20 years or 13 years, and all of that. Now I've understood that there's a specific Ghanaians in the diaspora constituency who, especially because of the exposure of a different system, genuinely believes that Ghanaian can work.
Yeah.
And genuinely see the opportunities to do that. And I'm happy that I found family among that.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to talk to our brothers and sisters in South Korea. I was there, and it's a lovely country. I love the country. And I look forward to having that conversation as well.
Amazing. So do I have permission to give your number to Nkoto?
Absolutely. You can give the other one as well. So
fantastic. Okay, great. And let me say, your baby phone lines. Never say if there are any, one or two people who might want to say either encourage you or if they have a question for you. Our viewers, the phone line, telephone number, then the WhatsApp call only. So, Mr. Oliver back of Womawo Edin Komo about Fix the Country, whether UK or Ghana, this is your opportunity now. And because next week Friday, be an busy, one-on-one. You can ask your question here. So person will encourage and so this is the opportunity for you to do so. Tina number in the one so be person fra you might be 2 minutes. So be answer I'm Fred ya any na ye Mr. Johnny Woods to say I'm in Ghana right now. How do I donate through Vodafone?
So Vodafone cash number no.
Yes,
I don't know earlier. No.
Okay, Mr. Johnny Woods, I'll send it to you. Otherwise, this is it. You can please make a note of it. Again, where are we? So this is the Vodafone number. +233 549. Mr. Johnny Woods, let me put it in your messenger now, because he's my Facebook friend. So.
Okay.
So it is +233 233.
I want to thank one of my friends, Benedicta, and I say who first introduced me to your platform.
Okay.
And if you haven't been watching Marie, you need to be watching Marie. And so I want to acknowledge you as well for making this happen and also turning my attention to her. In the same way, she's also directing me to Nkoto. I think this process of finding people and like-minded people as well is also an interesting journey, and I'm glad to be on this journey as well.
Fantastic. So we have a first caller here, James Abodi. He's in the UK. Hello. Hello.
Good evening.
Good evening, James. How are you? Oh, there be James. So when him say frepa, they mean to me fresa. I am very sorry. I know the encourage you man who say woman I'm a free viewers, Mr. I know the encourage you man who kura. Anyway, my own contribution. Yeah.
To be honest with you, let me say you are light. What was the discussion?
Oh, so you're not following the program. Any other question? I may find another caller. Why? There's somebody else on the line, so that you can watch the video. The discussion is about Fix the Country demonstration in the UK next week, Friday, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m.
We all want the betterment of our country. We all come and support.
Fantastic.
Anybody in Ghana, this is not about NDC, NPP. We all have to come together.
Yeah.
And then we voice out for them to fix our country. Thank you.
Thank you. Please grab your team here to our information in our platform also. Thank you.
Okay, I'll go get it.
All right.
I'll get it then.
Okay,
right,
great. You. Okay, thank you. Bye. Okay. Fifi was calling. Fifi, you can call back. Let me call Fifi back myself. So he's one of our executives on GEMS Diaspora. Yeah.
Hi, Marie.
Hello, Fifi. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I'm good as well, thank you. Right, please go ahead with your contribution.
Okay, thank you.
Or say, does the organization have a UK account?
So we are creating that as well. But I can send a personal account if you're comfortable with that. And
Oliver, please, Mr. Vomawa, don't.
Yeah.
Ghana,
so I think the best thing is to use the GoFundMe.
Yes,
let
them
GoFundMe.
Yeah,
you can put it there.
Ghana for who ya
better.
Yeah.
So,
or China kone the one I'm saying.
But we are creating that, and I think we should get the papers by end of week.
Fantastic.
People can contribute to that as well.
Yeah, lovely. Whenever it's ready. Yeah. Otherwise, people should just go to the platforms you've given. Fifi Mipacho, go ahead. Sorry about that. Felicity, love you too. Yeah.
Good afternoon, good evening to Mr. It's been great listening to you. It's the first time that personally I've overheard you talking and explaining where the vision came from, which all of us have bought into it. And it's great vision that we love it. And we hope we can use this. We can use this to be able to challenge all our leaders to try and do the right things for us. There's one thing that I want to ask you. There was, when the whole question of since the country came, there came a counter argument from the politicians that we should fix our altitude, which looking at the state of Ghana, a society as we are in Ghana, definitely there's supposed to be attitudinal change. Mm-hmm. Our attitudes are not that great. And are we going to use the same platform? Because change doesn't just start with the leaders and stays there. You have to be able to trickle down to the people on the ground, which is the ordinary citizens. And a lot of this fixing needs doing by ourselves as well. Sometimes leaders can fix institutions, but to go and operate in this institution. And if you attitude no a bomb and papa, we don't have the right attitude to be able to hold highest office, then everything will collapse again. So how are we going to approach the change of attitude of Ghanaians as well?
Brilliant question, Fufi. Thank you very much. Intina, are you going to listen to the response on from the program?
Yeah.
Yes, okay. I'll drop and I'll go and listen to the response of the program.
All right. Okay. Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you.
Maybe let's take a couple more, Anna, and then I can.
Okay, so let's take a couple more. So there was a call. Okay, somebody's calling. See, I think we'll just do this one more and then. Hello.
Good evening. Sister Marie.
Good evening.
I'm calling from Dubai.
Oh, you're calling from Dubai. Hi, how are you?
Yes. I want to really thank you guys for the good work that you guys are doing.
Thank you.
And then God will bless you that you also think about Ghana, even though you are in someone's country, you are in UK, but you are also thinking about Ghana. And then I want to thank Mr. Baka to the effort he is putting into all this fix the country issue. I also want to thank him so much. But the main issue is we need to also fight for the constitution to be reviewed, because constitution is giving us so much headache for the past years. The cause of Ghana, the downfall of Ghana is based on the constitution, because in Penfono Kohonma, because of constitution favor let's say 70% a favor money
yeah.
So you're not thinking about the citizens in the country.
Yeah.
Said we are to at least more that enthusiasm to fight for. I mean, the people who are back home that don't have the knowledge about whatever is going on in Ghana. The next way forward, we should look at how we can fight for the constitution to be changed.
And I think we have the perfect person here, Mr. Vomawa, because Wayepe, he's been on that
yes,
and
him, when we say integrity, he's the one,
he is the one.
Nobody should tell you that, this man has a self-discipline. You understand?
Yeah.
So self-discipline, you do everything on a right course.
Yeah.
I
think the good news also is that we are seeing more from him telling us that lawyer Kweku Azar so is in Ghana no, fighting for Ghanaians who hold dual citizens. Actually said now more and more of our legal luminaries from the diaspora are pushing into we're making progress, and for me I'm very excited in my spirit. Yeah. And now Mr. Menene common so I can't Kenya maybe.
Good. Yes. Even make sure when goosebumps because I'm hearing positive words. You understand? I'm so happy.
Yeah. Yeah. We thank God. We thank you for your contribution and the words of encouragement. Thank you. Right. We'll pick internet. So that was some amazing and then Fifi's question, which I think is a brilliant question. And I think that if you can maybe incorporate, this is just a suggestion, please, 5 minutes be in your speech next week, to really speak to us about the mindset.
Yeah.
The mindset. Yeah. Because Omokachara said we should fix ourselves. And Omokaya Omomwa.
So this
please hold on 1 minute. Yeah.
Billboard's not American 17, which will go up in Ghana this weekend. The message on it says doing better, demanding better.
Aha, good. I like that.
It is a recognition, and this is one of the BNMaker said. The sad thing about fix your attitude, was the fact that when anybody talks about it, Fifi Kampono, he used the words that the counter narrative. It can never be a counter to a project of making Ghana better. So if you're doing better and demanding better now, it entails, it is a recognition that says, citizens have a role to play in how Ghana goes forward. And the spirit of ordinary people understanding said they have a role to play. Nobody captured it better than Jerry for all his wrongs that he did. And even in Nkrumah himself, that the sense said the individuals themselves have to do better so that the leadership can also do that. Somebody led us in that process. Instead now Jerry old videos now to get them and this thing. That process your communities now say town council that process is what we are talking about, and that's what we're hoping to lead us to. But I want almost that can fix your attitude. To say pastor so what is the plan? If you believe, and one of the things that can say, okay, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. So fix your attitude the way forward. Don't forget to fix the country. Which is respecting better from our leaders. The whole plan now, the roadmap towards there, and then they But if you don't give that, then it means that you're just trying to avoid the conversations we need to have. So I definitely believe that process of Ghanaians doing better is part of this project. And I think I have seen Ghanaians do better. I've seen the Ghanaian attitude in the diaspora. I've seen my fellow citizens be in situations where you would not expect people to help you, but people have extended help. So innately, as a people, these are the values we are raised with. But it's something that happens in a system that makes you don't want to show the best of yourself. That makes you want to hide that good in you. Because Obino, and the system is showing you that when you give more, it takes from you and laughs at you. Those are the things that are making people lose faith in the project. Wow. So I think that process is coming together. And so many of the people, I'm supposed to have a call now with public health officials. Kwame Asiedu, who is in the UK. And who are public health officials. We are going to be sitting on the call for over 2 hours to talk about COVID-19 and the Delta variant and how we can make the protest COVID safe. Because we want public health experts to lead the conversation on that. Because our government is not doing that. When we went to see the police, we had the COVID-19 plan. They don't have one in place. So that absence of leadership, it's something that concerns us. So we have to take that role. So I'm going to be talking to them so that they can advise on the best way we can make this happen and limit infection. We don't expose people to harm, because we cannot do that, and the people who support this would be the ones whose health will be at risk. That's the kind of things we don't want to do. So this is the initiative I want. This is the kind of mindset I want Ghanaians to have as well. That when we are asking for, when we are demanding better, we are doing better. That's my kind of reaction.
And maybe my viewers will tell you, so we cannot do one without the other. We have to run both parallel.
Yes.
So fixing your mindset, fixing yourself. Demand for accountability. What is rightfully ours? Okay, let's pick this last call and then so that you can.
I'll respond to the brother from Dubai, but we know.
Okay, Mepachu. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry to have kept you waiting this long.
That's fine. That's fine. I just want to take this opportunity to say to wish Olivia all the best in this endeavor, and he should know that he's got all of our support. I'm sorry, my name is Prince. I'm calling from France. And what also I want to tell Oliver is that the people that we are dealing with right now, when it comes to the people of Ghana, have had a problem with attitude since from the onset, since from independence. We got the notion of independence wrong. We got the notion of democracy wrong. We still got our governance structures and systems very wrong. And it all boils back down to our constitution, our methods, our procedures since independence. Now, what I want to say to you, Oliver, is what you have championed is a great cause. But what I want you to understand is that you are here to lay the foundations which our next generation will carry on. So don't give up. If the results are are not coming as quickly as you want it, or as much as you expect to see it, know that the results you expect are not going to happen now immediately. They're not going to happen all of a sudden. But this is the foundation that we need. This is the foundation that will lead us to a constitutional review. This is the foundation that will push us to that particular point where we need to look at things and properly restructure our country and our continent, in fact. So don't give up. We support you. And some of us are so much angered at the situation in our country, but there is going to come a time when we would all jump on board and support the full idea. So don't give up. We are here. We are supporting you. And we know that with God, everything is going to be fine. But we don't expect God to come from heaven to come and do the job for us. So we are coming. And then thank you so much for this particular endeavor, Oliver.
Great. Thank you very much for your contribution. Tina Oliver, I think, thank you so much, caller. I think you can respond to Dubai, and then that is it. Let's hear for you. I'm from caller, Mr. Voma has to go. Yeah, he needs to go to another meeting.
Just a quick word for Prince and for other Ghanaians in France. Je suis ému par votre intérêt pour cette conversation et pour la volonté de s'engager. Je suis certain que nous aurons l'opportunité de changer le pays. And just simply, I'm moved by his interest in this conversation and for the willingness to engage. I am certain that we will change the country and we can fix things by continuing to be part of the process. To the Dubai caller, I mean, the constitutional question is something that I am very interested in. There's no question about it. You know, it's something that I started my life in this. I always say that I have worked in so many places, but the high, I've always been chasing the high of the time I worked in the Constitution Review project. Because that's the time when I had hope, I had faith, and I believed I was doing something that was affecting the destiny of my country directly. So the constitution question, Lydia, I think it is an important and a fundamental question. It means and that's one of the reasons why, even in our hesitancy to put out demands, one of the things we are going forward for in the March, is a new constitution for a new generation. It's a key part of our conversation, and this is one of the things we're mobilizing around. So that process of putting everybody in the situation where we do that has to happen. But I also want people to remember, Obama can say, the constitution is not self-expanding. The opportunity said, the constitution as it is doesn't solve problems on its own. First, the country must continue to exist. Different people must take on this project. People who believe in it passionately. People who are willing to engage in this thing, full front and understanding what it takes for the system to work. So that's kind of the thing that's going to happen. Into the constitution, it's going to be on the agenda and it's going to be something that we'll continue to push and we'll get results from. One of the things we want to do is that we're going to lead a process where we develop what we call the People's Constitution. Because we're not going to just have them put something on the agenda where our voices and what we want to see reflected in that project doesn't come up. Instead, we'll put that work in and listen to people and put that into a document that we can do together. I was part of the process. After even that constitution, we finished his work. We sat down for 3 months. I just said every I and every T was dotted and crossed to make sure there was nothing grammatical error put in it. So it's something that I'm familiar with the process. And a lot of people ask me, why not a constitution review and why a new constitution? It's because it's only when you have been part of the conversation and understand the process that you understand the two are not the same. People think say, I new constitution, it means all the things which are good in this one, they better watching. There be Ghana Constitution, 1992 Constitution now. About 70% of the content comes from the 1969 Constitution. The same thing is reflected in 1979 Constitution. So there are parts of the Constitution which can be saved.
Yeah.
But when you say a new constitution, is the framework within which it comes into play.
Yeah.
So the review process, and when but the review process, when we finish that review process, the reason why it didn't go forward, they said the government set it up under a commission of inquiry. Now, that commission of inquiry process, it allows the government to then issue a white paper and reject the amount kind of fund. We don't want this to happen again. And that politicians will control the process. Secondly, Nana Dobaso, he took one of the recommendations, which is election of DCEs. Now, when we went around the country, Ghana Fodu Duane said, we don't want this is about development. We don't want it to be partisan.
Yeah.
So that election, even though we want to elect DCEs, the embassy be a partisan basis. When they took the recommendation, they changed it and made it partisan, and assemblyman crowd, party colors. Ghana Fodu Duane said, this won't happen. We don't want it. What did they do? They didn't listen to Ghanaians. And then they took it away. And the next project cannot end up in that process. Choose and pick what happens. It has to leave from a constituent assembly straight to the people. This is what happened with the 1992 Constitution. And we want that process to happen. So when the people have decided and selected it, it comes to referendum. It won't go a council of state, not just a recommendation council of state in Kamon. They will say that they will change what we have recommended. It won't go through all that. That's one of the reasons why we are talking about the new constitution for a new generation. So about the process.
I think so we will have to have another conversation. Now what to blood stretch because what people say, you see, Debbie, I don't know, make ignorance. But kind of constitution it needs to be amended. That's the who name the nitty-gritties of what goes into it and why, like you're telling us now, we actually do need a new constitution. Amend the constitution almost what you say, because they know what you're telling us. We don't know because we're not there. We're not fully abreast with exactly, like we don't know the details. And I think we're a whole new separate conversation.
I agree.
We will have to have you back to educate us and to enlighten us. Education is everything. And Mr. Vomawo, thank you so much for your time. And next week Friday we will be there. Any other questions, people will direct them at me, and then I will cascade them back to you. People have your number. I will put a small write-up. Please send me maybe by tomorrow, because I know you're busy tonight, or before the end of the weekend, end of the week. We'll send them more links to on all the various crowdfunding platforms now. Not met me the to hope. Now they are encouraging for. But definitely next week, Friday. Thank you so much.
I look forward to seeing you as well. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Same here. So God bless you, and
you too.
We'll stay in touch.
Take care.
Bye. God bless you. Bye-bye. Bye. Right. We have a caller here. Hello.
Hello. Good evening, Marie.
Good evening. Felicity, me pacha opa me frewana. Do you want me to call you, Felicity? Because I can call you on Messenger. Oh, hello, Calvary Lavini.
Yeah.
Oh, me pacho mo anonko. Mr. Boma, obet here from the background. Sorry about that.
Okay, good evening to you and all the listeners.
Good evening,
I just want to call and throw my weight behind the fix the country the mona air.
Fantastic.
Yenya ye want a quentum in you who say, and yema pee or ye mamua, and was a to me a to ye, a chain said ye a tea. Now, your best say, Sabani say ya, my yajun say, Ubina Utia Abaina or Tiswono. Minchi a man for agony in see, Mama plight a wunya ye about doom so. Yenia Yenika Kenim say, Ghana shall see challenges with our power supply no 1983, may come back Ghana no, na Rollins was no. Rollins the battle ya, Anna or the Kuguye. Kufo eba be battle ya no di koguye atamus be ye ne die na ade bia woni peak it me gidi say mahama time ana power supply problem no eba ne peak eni na be gu mahama so say ye wonu say political awareness the processes of nation building a time and also a track record about the way of presenting to a mind in Tino. Nafi Adeli Beshenin Semuno, a month for expected na omu demanding more. And to be one time BB ebe picky. Nasa Adeno about the zenith, the peak. Time and Tressa won a 1 year deal. Name Tressa be a time and the challenge in a until you step up to the plate. You step up to the mark and honor your friend is a leadership.
That's right.
And the man will be say, hey, do you ever so good year or Tissos say anymore say? And also will be impeded or Tisson as them. Name you was a problem be our time a button peak. Na that problem no no fin na boaboa no na se bi utira anyi na wo breso ade no ebeyi no wadi pa ye wo ye ne se wo gira wo na so se de mama ye no o se me hu se dum so aye problem na ugina parliament ka tro mo say I take full responsibility and I will fix it na mpani ampa ye mu se o fix ye ansana oko. And they said the authorities says because okay, and you more point to say in Koyenano, me, may yet make to me bresso. Nasa Ankobanasa, none for catch and say, Momon Conco fiximo attitude, na yesterday, yempe or mine on Kosovo, and as a young to say, there are challenges. And the best say, yen no country yem fire dom emra 30th July, na yen yanko present petition no, and High Commissioner. Na enkoye se obi breso de ye nyina ye bodom pim ekoye na obi breso de ye twetwe ho se koba ne sa ane e kasa ne ya ma tribalism and partisan politics ana EDD mu ne menye the real politics I was here say ye chichire oman na ye peni ye no to me se me London for obi a mfa ni wait mra 30th na yankoye demono na yengunu say we are fighting a national cause the many political party be a cause
nyame enshraw ye da si bebre
Ghana for Mr. Nondu a nondu no twinifa no ahyase e ba me say masre kwan wadwumam se meba enti Mr. Nondu a nondu dumienu ne awie ne yeko said the abrofo yo mo de no ni nyina yensua eno nso nka ho na yenso yen fix the attitude e wo time management enkanka e ba eniema e ye Ghana for ye ne ye se broni na ye abosi e be kontem ba ye ne ya Ghana for the lackadaisical attitude as obekọ as wonko medamos
and na obetumi afa half day so Reverend nyame ensure bebre ye dasi bebre nyame ensure ye dasi bye bye. Enti no etie for mutumi say next week Friday e be ye dankasa moma ye nyina ye nkonkohiem obetumi asere kwan half day enti say wadwuma ya anopa from anopa to anwumra for one day for or woman woman Ghana. So also that you bet me the one say si ubuaka say na meka ho bi na ye de petition koma Ghana aban say on CSC or minor aban foforo ba ye besan ye biem enti no fatu mu say apreko ka kire wo bosses wo adwuma mu say next week Friday on the 30th o sre kwan o ji half day o beba after 12 o'clock to your point 12 na train station ben ho Sloan Square station Nice Bridge Ninyina Sloan Square Central Line Sloan Square District and Circle Line Nice Bridge Piccadilly Line ubetumi afa train say ya uhrisi underground mu na wo say no bus nso so de bebre na mo Victoria Station ye be 10 minutes down the road from baby aye no Victoria Station ubetumi anante ho so udru ha underground no bebre enti sre kwan wa adwuma mu ka kire wo mo say ubeba adwuma after 12 ubeye wo hours na shim aha o ma pen boss bia ni abrochire ha o ma o ka kire ne say o pe half day dia kwa akoye bibi on fam ma eti ma omo advance notice ka kire ne entempreko na next week nyame adoma ye nyina ye high commission nanim ho ye mfa enidie ni obuo kwan so enkonko petition ye high commissioner his excellency papa owusu ankoma ye the petition e koma ne say ye di gina ne na so Ghana for you go UK ye di say na so say on farmer president Akufo-Addo say yes say omon fix it or minor fix the country nye road nko enya hospitals nko eye niema bebre including ye suban ne ye mindset ni nyina ka fix the country no what you see enti ebe ye kama say we need t-shirt ni bia na fifi kan Victoria Coast Station nyina wo ho aha mo amufri Manchester ne Birmingham no mo ne ade no Victoria Coach Station enti no uto train ticket ne entema you have more than 1 week about a week and a half uto ticket entema e bia obenya ne cheaper aha ti moma yenya niema in advance tin once again me the t-shirt advert no ebe kire so wonto bia link na me pin wo ase ho. Right, TF4 ye di besi ha nyame nshra ye nyina. Okay, Kweku Newton say I've got mine already. Great, well done. Thank you so much. Nyame nshra ye nyina no nye ye nyina akese. Onfa ye nkwa enche ye. Me so nyame adom James Diaspora yakwa post to your letter about Kennedy Japan. You post to eko na muhu say me ye mistake. Muhu won say nipa ye nyina mistake wo ye ho. But me yeah mistake ni wie you know a son said there be a make say you've got to think through processes. It just struck me say fa ma many ding meaning say Holy Spirit na kai me and thank you to the Holy Spirit but me say fa ma many ding too so but me te bas mo me be fie nyina na me bisa me ho question be say but Marie, how did you make that mistake? I was asking myself because under normal circumstances, you're supposed to write the name of the person before you write the address. So how did you skip that? And not your friend is self-reflection. I was criticizing myself, doing self-assessment. How did I make that mistake? Because say, how could you have written the address before the person's name? The person's name should be first, and before the address. Then I answered myself, say, perhaps it was because me call different places to go and print. Maybe say Eid Mubarak. And happy Eid Mubarak to all my Muslim viewers. And see a lot of the places now or more communication center or more close. Me so me fear her printers ya ba mento inki bim. Ko uto inka na enkwara dia print near manasa. And see obia pong me call post office and a machine into me from a USB, no a letter and that sort of. So I had to go to Streatham Library. I had to go to the library. Library to me could drew. As I say, Bibia by appointment. Thank God, send my husband woman tell me what yeah, Bibiana. ye print ye answer na me to America ko post office enti me drew an address na na wo me trim me ye me phone me bia ya me twerɛ ya me refi say me de ma me din but won say nyame adom me kai ye ma me de share ho ti small video ti nyame adom letter no so ekɔ ye gusu a ye other nhyehyɛ James Diaspora enti no kakra we're doing our best once again. MPP UK Communications. Mumu bi maybe anopano anhwe video na me ye no. Mesremo se obi nim abrantie ya MPP UK Communications Officer. Still on apologizing chere President Mahama Bano comments na o make here. Te mesremo se obi nim abrantie ya UK ha. Mon kan chere ne say he needs to apologize. Onjai me masemono na onjai pride ni ego na ashe na kome mumano na on apologize. Or you're very active on Twitter, the Twitter account in Sunye. UK MPP UK Communications Officer. When I'm reporting I'm a police no because of the UK ha. Last week oka oma e making sexual comments on social media no, and it is not acceptable. We cannot have such people in our politics. Enti obi nimna mon kanche ne say he doesn't need us to come and tell him to apologize. I think say he's not an idiot unless he wants to prove to us that he's an idiot. But if he's not an idiot dear, then common sense should tell him say he needs to render an apology. Na na hesi ojiri na woni ne di sa nkwase asemo. Na na hesi ojiri kra wa apologize. Enra Madam Francis Esiam abetna Good Morning Ghana so wa apologize on behalf of Nana Hesi Ujiri. Say omo kwa koye consultations. Na omo aba properly to apologize to the Mahama family. Na wo de wuti UK ha you are refusing to apologize. But ye call Twitter subiana. You are posting on Twitter. You are posting on Twitter to say dia wonyere. Say emfa ho. Una utumi di atem and get on okay some can so be block me. Afraid they were blocking me. Meaning said dia metro nyina wa hu. Etie for some hu. Because I've been tagging him. I have been tagging him every so me can every say or nunti me be Twitter account fufuro me sa tagging or block who and no me say biem. We must demand an apology from this guy. Enti mesre tie for say munyina so mesremo munyina mo ma yenko ne Twitter so obia nko ne Twitter so enya gi so block ye nyina we kura na confirm me say message aye kan wa ha no wati ni nyina wa hu ni nyina. One say we me kind say just or block me. One so we blocking so ampa. It means the year can you now but we prim na kuma say on apologize. It is not right. It is not right. Because trust me, senka dia we are omodidi Mahama Bay, obi ne decide ni di Samira ba umi abana, kameba bekasa. Obi ne decide ni di Samira ba umi aba wa abrochire ha. Mentina hanka se me ye NDC ni ntemfa me ho still aka me report. Enti so obi nim sa branch ye friend na bofo ya mon kan kire ne say no ye nyina ye hu say me messages na me dey to ho no he has seen them because he has blocked me. It means that he has seen all the message for the past 3 days. I've been tagging him and tagging the president and tagging Dr. Ba and tagging everybody. He has seen it. Well, hu ni nyina senior call a suman Ghana presidency Jubilee House call a suman me Marie. I know for a fact that you handle President Akufo-Addo's social media. Call a suman. I know for a fact that you handle President Akufo-Addo's social media. You need to speak to this guy because he made derogatory comments, sexual comments, pedophilic comments that rapists on social media about a 14-year-old child. And Fahosa President Mahama, we need to condemn this guy and he needs to apologize. Intimate Menu anom Ghana for an account in ye. So account or Twitter so kohona ko can be chireno. So wuni account or Twitter so buye Twitter nibi. Buye bi na ko kan wadwen chira branti until say ye benya apology from him. Me ni said ye de bia mekano we need to sustain until we get results. Into ochina mesa bonidin. In fact, your court demonstration in Ukraine men make a personal complaint about this guy to His Excellency Papa Owusu Ankuma. I will make a complaint to Papa Owusu Ankuma about this guy. He needs to apologize. On to me funny hun nisa. Enti etiefo mumma yenyinara with one akuma, with one Ghana spirit, yenyina yenkon account ho. And thank you, Suleiman. Mudru honso so mon reporting account. Report his account. Because he's a pedophile. O come a Facebook page and ne photos ni now ho the save photo no now also fatu social media. So every day, and dia me ye mature day 3 or chena me the for by day 4. Every day be a ye besha kosi how longer ye bet is a warrender apology. Ye bet every day ye the photo paper. Kosi da ye bet is a warrender apology. Me ye ni photo me ko print ni photo kesiye na me dia bomb me placard so na me dia ko face the country in next week nya me ya adonwa me print more copies wa pe bibia ushia me wo ho a me ma ubi ye no ane say na me politics inti say we can make sexual comments about Enkwara and you don't want to even say sorry. Fe bebia me ne nam kora meba etiefo enti ye di enono ebesi ha nyame enhira mu nyina na onyo bi akese. I think my final plea before I go, Mr. So wo radio station, unim radio station ni bi, wo Italy, wo Holland, wo Germany, wo any other European country, wo UK ha, o pese we interview Mr. Oliver Vomawo about fix the country. Mami hu anase sending a message. Let us get the message on radio in the diaspora. So those of you who own radio stations, reach out and interview him and speak to him and get to understand the idea of the fix the country, so that we can get more people to understand that it is not about partisan politics. It is about all of us collectively coming together as Ghanaians, as MPP, NDC, CPP, neutral, whatever. Yenina coming together to champion this cause for Oman Ghana. God bless you guys. Bye-bye.